All right, here we are today. We're going to do the June ACT. So this is June, June. Preparation for June, it's the April, it is j01. And here we go. Which of the following polynomials is px plus qx? Well, you just add them. 3x squared minus 15 and 5x squared plus 4 makes what? 8x squared minus 11. Correct answer, C. Number 2 is a classic plug-in. The equation, I always say when they give you a formula, you're either plugging in for the right to get the left, or you're plugging into the left to solve for the right. In this case, it's obvious the P is 10, so what are you doing? You're plugging in P. The calculator has a great way of solving that. You could use the stow button, and notice I just hit X. 10 stow X allows me to copy the function negative 10x squared rather than P, which is harder to get to. 10x squared plus 550x. And that just gives you the answer without doing anything or any kind of work. It's the stow button. And the answer is 4,500. Okay, so what is that? Choice F. Number 3 is a basic linear inequality. I subtract 4x from both sides, which is going to make me end up having to divide by a negative. So when I divide by negative 3, everyone, what happens to the arrow? It switches. So its x is less than or equal to 8, choice C. This one is a program. It's called midpoint given. And the key is they're given that the midpoint is. That tells you that you're using midpoint given. The midpoint is 2432. So I love this program. It's usually pretty clear how to use it. It says midpoint is 2432. And now what's the other point that they give? What was that? 2437. So you enter 2437 and it gives you the answer 2427, which is choice J. Page number next. Given, you can vote for either option A or option B. Well, for every vote of A, that's 1x, there were 4 for B, So together, that's 20 votes. So it's 5x is 20, x is 4, which means 4 people picked A, plug it back in, 16 picked B, answer D. You could have done that without much trouble just by looking at the numbers. All right, here we go. A brick is 3.5, 2.75 by 8.5. That's the box program, which is just going to give you the volume by going length times width times height. So let's see, what were those given dimensions? They were 3.5, boom, 8.75, 2.75, and then boom, 8.5, and that gives you the volume of the box, which is 81.815, and then it weighs how much per cube, 0.06. So each box weighs that much, and you have how many 950 pounds to fit that many. So 950 divided by the answer gives you 193, which is perfectly choice B.
What function is that? Do you use that?
Moving right along, y equals is given by the line below. It's clearly a little low, so what do we have to do? We have to raise the y-intercept, not by 80 though, then it would be too high. If we raised it by 40, the line of best fit would fit perfectly. This is called combination probabilities A and B. You times them. So it's just 0.2 times 0.3 to give you the answer for the perfect answer, 0.06. I did that in my head, I realize now. Page 3, moving right along. You have a system of equations, and they intersect in two places, P and T, choice H. When is the intervals increasing? They're increasing between where? Well, here we go. It's decreasing, 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 and it increases between C and D, choice C. Okay? So we have 11 juniors and 79 seniors. There's a committee, and the first member is a junior, so that means for the second pick, there are 79 seniors out of 89, not 90 no more, because you just took one guy out. So that would be choice H. These are always interesting. You can play on the calculator a little bit if you want and check the choices. X being an integer means that x cubed is an integer, and then the plus irrational is going to throw it off. So that's the choice you're looking for. I guess I could go through each choice and show you why it's wrong. It's got to make an irrational number, and B, C, and D don't come close to that. D is a maybe, X is a rational number, and Y is just any positive. Well, if it has to be, then it's no, but it could be a irrational. 780, this one gives it away. It says, what would best estimate the mean number of days? Well, it's the mean of the people, F. This one's a little odd. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So you have to divide that by 7. And it caused me a little trouble because 20 divided by 73 divided by 7 gives me that much per unit. So 0.03 is how big each unit is. I hope that's making sense. So each unit is 0.03. We want to know where 20 over 93 is. So 20 divided by 93 is that much. So what I did was I took the number, I went and grabbed the 0.03 right here and times it by, I think it was 5, got me in the vicinity. The next one's going to push me over, so it's between the 5th and the 6th intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's between E and F. So the answer is C. This is asking you to sum for n equals 1 to 3 that fraction. Now the beauty is you have that on your calculator. It's under math, summation. Oops, math, and then you can look at summation, and you can plug in, again, I like doing x is 1 to 3, and then I put it in as a fraction, 88 over 100 to the x, using x rather than the number. So it gives me 88888, which is choice D. You could have done that by hand. Plugging in 1 would give you 88 over 100. Plugging in 2 would have given you that. And plugging in 3 would have given you 4 zeros. Tough problem if you've never seen it. I know a lot of my students looked at it and didn't have a clue what was going on. Well, that's a summation. You're summing the three answers. All right, so if I go through 651, that's way the heck up here, and I'm symmetric about the y-axis, then the other point is negative 651. Answer choice F. G of f of 6 means plug 6 into the f function and you get 4 for the answer. 6 is the entry, 4 is the output. Now what's g of 4? You plug in 4 into this side and get negative 6 as the answer B for number 17. Number 18 took me a while. The value of x is 3 times y. The value of z is 19 less. Remember that 19 goes in the back. And then x plus y plus z is 37. So what do? They all have x in it. So where I see a y, I divide by 3. So it would be x plus x over 3. And then where I see z, I put 19. I could go over solving that equation with you, but I sure do like using my math equation solver on the calculator. I love to show this one off. So it would be x, again, good variable to use, plus x over 3, plus, what was it, x minus 19 equals 37. Then you just hit the F5 button twice. OK, solve, and x is not working out right. Oh, because I put over 13. What am I doing? It's over 3, huh? OK, solve. X is 24. Careful, you're not solving for x. You're solving for y. So x is 24. Glad they didn't offer that in the choices. A perfect one to use, quad 2002 is 19. It solves any quadratic equation for you. So all we got to do is enter the A, B, and C. So the A is 1. Was it negative 8 and negative 84? And it gives you the answers negative 6 and 14. And of course, we're adding the two solutions to get 8. Answer C. This one's all real numbers. it's y equals some number x. So that's going to look like that eventually. You could have put it into your graphing calculator and seen it. What was it? It was alpha y equals 6 root 7 over 2x. And that's going to give you that for the picture. Clearly it's going everywhere up and everywhere down. So the range is going to be all real numbers for that one. Factor out the 6 and you get the difference of 2 squares. You could have also reverse FOILed it and seen what would give you that answer, but I think that's the better look. This one confused me at first. It confused me because if you spend 1/4 of your money, you have 3/4 of your money left. So it's the same thing here. She spent 1/5, so you'd have 4/5 left. That's what equals 60. So it's 3/5 x equals 60, and then you times it by 5/3 and you get 100. But I'll be honest, my favorite way was just to plug in the numbers. Ironically, I took 100 first. Now what did you do? You spent 1/4, meaning you spent $25, you have 75 left. Then you spent 1/5, which means 15, so you have 75 minus 15, 60 left, and ironically 100 was the first choice and the right answer. This you can do on your calculator, I to the 3rd power. Again, when I mode this, I'm always in the ABI mode. So when I do second decimal is I to the 3rd, it gives me the answer -I. I don't have to do anything. The choice is D. Theater manager, this one was a little weird. It was adults plus children is 420 because I sold that many tickets. But now they're about to tell me how many I sold. So I sold 1 adult for every 3 children. That means that you can plug in 3C for A and go 3C plus C is 420, which would give you 4C is 420, which means you sold 105. I did something wrong. It's the other way around. It's 1 to 3 is the opposite. You sell 1 adult for 3 children, means the equation is 3C equals A. So you're going to end up with 105 adults. I have it crisscrossed, sorry. And 315 children. So I had it backwards in the equation. I apologize. So it's 105 adults. Now, what's the deal? The adult ticket must be less than or equal to 1.7 the child. So that's these two. And then the right number of tickets is right here because I'm going to have 105 adults and 315 children. So that was just process of elimination at the end there, giving you the answer. All right, this is perfect for area of trapezoid because I can figure out the area. Watch how easy. I go program, move area of trapezoid. I put in the dimensions, 2448, and then the altitude is dropped for me is 32. Oops. Did I do it the wrong one? Trapezoid's 5. I did triangle. So base 1 is 24, 48, and 32. So that means the area is 1152. Okay. Each gallon covers 300. So that's the famous 1152 divided by 300 is going to give you 3 point something something. I can't go to the store. I need to buy a 4th gallon. I can't buy 3.84, and each gallon costs $16.50. So there you go. It is a $66 job. Choice G. Oop, I went out of line. 25 was next. What's happening here is the given in degrees, what is the value of W? So K is a transversal, and the 3 angles are given in degrees. And what does that mean? That means that (11Z plus 6Z plus 10 is 180, huh? These two angles have to add up. So that's 17Z equals 170. Z ends up being 10. And as usual, this 10 means that this angle's 110. Drop it down, that's 110. And this is 70. So 2W plus 70 is 180. Ends up giving you W is 55. This is SOHCAHTOA, so if you look at Chief SOHCAHTOA program, it gives you the ratio, and this is going to be the tangent of 70 is 9 over x, because this is the opposite and this is the adjacent. This is the hypotenuse, which doesn't figure, so you can throw out these. You know it's tangent of 70. Cross multiply, and you get x tan 70 equals 9. And so it's 9 divided by tan of 70 for the answer. 27 I already did in out of order. This one is saying 100% of the people, it's reverse probability. So if the probability is Q, is that you're in here, this is the rest of the people. So it's simply 1 minus Q. It's 100%. It's the old thing, if it's a 20% chance of rain, that's 2 out of 10. What's the chance of it not raining? 1 minus 20%. So that's all this is asking for all its gibberish. The average of the intercepts, you got one at -2 and one way the heck out there. The average is where the symmetry is. So just add them up and divide by 2. Now the vertical line is an x equals, not a y equals. Y equals would be a horizontal line. Hey, we just got through this in algebra. It's called exponential. So the 4th root is this to the 1/4 power to a power. You multiply the powers. You could do this 15/4 times 1/4 if you struggle with fractions, and then hit Matha Fracca, and it gives you the answer 15 over 16. It's just multiplying the exponents of power to a power. In the home stretch, Law of sines. So the two angles of the triangle add up to 118. That makes this one 62. So the sine of 62 is to 13. That's the sine of 73 is to x. Which one is that? It looks like H for 31. Law of sines. This one I just drew the triangle JKL and NOP. So what do they give you? KL down here is equal to OP. Angle L is angle P. So to make angle side, it can't be this included one. It has to be the ones away. Choice A. J is equal to N. This is units play. C is measured in dollars. N is measured in inches. And then W is dollars per inch. Well, these cancel because they're timesing by each other. And these cancel. One's on the top, one's on the bottom. So this K has no unit of measure. It's just some number without a unit of measure. So the choice is F. This is unit circle. You could use my Circle 2 program if you know what you're doing. It doesn't give you the X and Y, it gives you the sine and cosine. Well, the sine of pi thirds is the Y, square root of 3 over 2. This is a classic. When you make a 2-foot border, it's really 4 feet because it's 2 on both sides. So the inner rectangle is 12 and 10, and the other is 16 by 14. So the area in between them is the big rectangle minus the little rectangle. So it's 16 times 14 minus 12 times 10. And hopefully, whenever you do something like this, you say a little prayer. 104 is on the answers. Yes. A cube is in a box. I'm sorry, a cube is a box. So that box is 666y because side cubed has to give you 216. Length times width times height here, since they're all the same, has to be this, so it has to be the cube root of 216 on your calculator. Now, if I put oh gosh, I could never draw this in a million years, but if I put a sphere inside of this, the radius has to be half. So the radius is 3. And I do have a volume of sphere program. You don't even need the formula. It's, oh shoot, it didn't make the translation. It's on your programs that I gave you, volume of sphere. It's 4/3 pi r cubed, and I leave the pi out so that I can match the answer 36 pi. Home stretch. This one is synthetic division, if you know that. Plug in -4, and then you go 2.5, -10, -40, 160. Well, you just drop, times, and add. The C has to be -160. I preferred it with the factoring concept. If x plus 4 is one of the factors, this is 2.5x squared, so this would have to be 2.5x. Now you think of reverse foiling. This is 10, so this is going to have to be -40. to make negative 30, you see? So the number is this product of those two, 4 times negative 40. What does this mean? 3.5 to the x, with x being the years, well, the x is on the inside. It means the population is going to be 3.5 times the previous year, because you're just going to keep upping the power and getting another 3.5. Great use of pizza. It's the big piece minus the little piece. Now the big piece has a radius of 22. So the pizza program always comes in handy because the pizza has a radius of 22 and an angle of 120. The answer's in terms of pi, so you get 484 over 3 pi. Hit enter, and the small one is a 6, which is going to be 12 pi. So it's, what was it, 484 over 3 pi is the big piece, minus 12 pi is the little piece, and now say your prayers that 469 is on there, yes. Distance formula, it'll give you the magnitude. One place is 2,7, the other place is 811, so the magnitude's going to be that distance. All of this can be handled by right triangle. I prefer the distance formula. It's 6 squared plus 4 squared is 52, so it's 2 root 13. And then the angle of the vector, the tangent once again, because it's opposite over adjacent, is 4 over 6, which is 2/3. So that you can get all that by the right triangle multiplication and Pythagorean triples. Last question is, I got 5 questions, and each is a yes or a no, so I got 2 choices for each one, and the answer is 2 to the 5th, 32C. Well, that's all, folks.